The best game in town. When I first got in the car game, I was incarcerated. I was in search of a good business to invest in that would fit under my investment system. When you are incarcerated, you don't always have the support you might need. Plus, most people probably have turned their back on you because you made bad decisions and chose to commit crimes instead of doing what's right. Therefore, you are lucky if you have one person in your corner, which doesn't mean that they will still have time to do things for you when they have their own life to live. This caused me to create an investment system. The system includes: number 1, you must record your investment within 4 to 8 months. Number 2, no employees, possibly one, but I will hire companies to do what's needed to accomplish the goal. Number 3, once it's purchased or the investment is made, the business must run on automatic until I decide to sell. Number 4, very little or no overhead. I was forced to create the system in order to run these businesses from incarceration without too much outside help. I invested in ATM machines, finding locations and paying a company to install it, change receipt paper, and refill it with cash. Finding locations was the hard part. I wrote books and self-published them on Amazon. I paid a company to create a social media to help market them. I invested in a diesel truck trailer, which I ended up renting out for $2,500 a month. It was a good business for 4 months until I realized I couldn't insure just the trailer. I started seeing trucks crash and I got concerned. I knew I couldn't afford to take a loss of that magnitude. The trucks had cost me $20,000 to purchase. I missed the income and I searched for something safer I could invest in. This is how I chose to invest in cars. I signed up with Copart, a company who sells wrecked and damaged vehicles. They have hundreds of thousands of cars in which you can bid on. They are a giant auction. My first vehicle I bidded on was a 2019 Dodge Challenger Scat Pack. I won the bid of $22,000 for the car, plus $2,500 in fees. The car was purchased for $29,500, which was damaged in the front. I paid $600 for a tow truck to pick it up and deliver it to a body and fender shop to be fixed. The body and fender shop charged me $6,000 to fix it, and I paid them. After it was done, I sold the car for $39,000. I made a profit of $7,900 in 2 months. At that moment, I realized the car game was the best game in town, and what I really liked was it was safe. No one never drove it. I didn't register it, and I didn't insure it. That was my introduction to the car game, and it's been my biggest moneymaker. Now, I flip cars and I rent them. Throughout this book, I'm going to show you exactly how I do it, because if I can do it, you can do it too. First things first, get your mind right. The man or woman who is outwardly poor, yet rich in virtue, is truly rich, and in the midst of all his poverty, she is surely traveling toward prosperity, and abounding joy and bliss await his or her coming. James Allen. Mindset. In order to be a success in any type of game plan, you must get your mind right. It is the ultimate secret of turning your dreams into a reality. If your mind is not programmed to believe, then it will be programmed to doubt. When you have doubt, you also have fear, and neither one will accomplish nothing. You can't be afraid to take chances in life. Chances make champions. If you want to become a winner in life, you have to be in the game. The saying is real. You can't win if you don't play. Your mind is the master. If you don't learn how to master it, it will not give you the tools to prosper. Misfortune, sorrow, and sadness is implemented in those who do not learn that mind is master. Unrest and pain and sorrow are the shadows of life. There is no heart within the world that has not felt the sting of pain. There is no human that has not experienced failure. When you first tried to walk and you fell down repeatedly, the secret was your mind told you to get back up and try again. As a child, we are more fearless. we're not afraid of failure. We have no doubt. We know that when we want something, we just have to go get it. Reach out for it or cry and it will soon be in our possession. We have to get that same mindset back. We have to become fearless again. And we cannot be afraid to take a chance to advance. The child cries to be a man or woman. The man and woman sigh for the loss of felicity of childhood. The poor chafes under the chains of poverty by which he is bound, and the rich man often lives in fear of becoming poor. There is fear in all of us, but we have to learn how to fight it and eradicate it. From the most terminal word or act of man-woman, up to the groupings of the celestial bodies, law reigns supreme. No arbitrary condition can, even for 1 minute, exist. For such a condition would be a denial and an annihilation of the law. Once you believe in this supreme law, you will gain the confidence needed to overcome all obstacles. Every condition of life is, therefore, bound up in an orderly and harmonious sequence. This is true if you are poor, if you are paralyzed, if you are incarcerated, if you are in debt, and the secret and cause of every condition is contained within itself. You must understand that whatsoever a man, woman sows in their heart, they shall also reap, is inscribed in flaming letters upon the portal of eternity, and none can deny it. No one can cheat it, and no one can stop it. No one except yourself if you choose not to believe in you. If you are the person who blames others for your condition, you are in doubt of the situation. You are in doubt of the situation and who you are. If you are a complainer, this means you lack that faith which is the ground of all effort and progress. Complaining accomplishes nothing. Why complain? It will not change anything. You have to step up and change your situation. There is no room for a complaint in the universe of making your tomorrows better than your yesterdays. And worry is the path to suicide. Why waste time worrying when worrying is a waste of time? Again, it accomplishes nothing. You believe you are chained by circumstances. You cry out for better opportunities, for a wider scope, for improved physical conditions, but you fail to change your mindset. The circumstances you are born in does not define you. The situation you are in does not define you. We all have made mistakes. We all have taken a wrong turn that set us in the wrong direction of our life. The question is, when will we admit to our own faults and make the change to correct our mistakes and act on better decisions? Our thinking is the way out of undesirable conditions. Before you complain that you are a slave to your condition, make sure you have not become a slave to yourself. Look within. Look searchingly and have no mercy upon yourself. You will find there perchance slavish thoughts, slavish desires, and in your daily life and conduct, slavish habits. Habits that prevent you from becoming a success. It is imperative that you figure out how to conquer this. Cease to be a slave to yourself, to bad habits, to drugs, to failure, to weakness, to doubt, to fear, to the lack of confidence. And no man or woman will have the power to enslave you. As you overcome self, you will overcome all adverse conditions, and every difficulty will fall before you. When you change your mindset, you are 99% there to accomplishing your goals and changing the way you live your life. Your mind is the ultimate key to your success. As a man, woman thinketh, so he or she will become. Second thing you must know. Master the investment game. Create a system that allows a guarantee of limited chance of loss. Gennaro Patterson. Investment game plan. Because of my incarceration, I was forced to come up with an investment system that guaranteed a limited chance of loss. I was eager to win. I had set a goal while incarcerated to make $200,000 to $300,000 while locked up. I hadn't met anyone in jail who had done it, and yet I wanted to be the one who could make it happen. Of course, I lived in undesirable conditions with limited resources, but it all goes back to mindset. I programmed my mind to believe it was possible. I told myself that no fence, no guard tower, and no walls would stop me from creating an income. I learned to believe that anything was possible. I have changed my way of thinking. I decided that if Jeff Bezos could be in one building and sell to people all over the world, then how come I couldn't be on my bunk and sell to people outside the prison? Once I realized my books were selling in LA, Washington, DC, Kansas City, Miami, Florida, China, Japan, Denver, Colorado, New York, etc., I realized I had proved to myself that I could do it. This gave me a lot of confidence, and as my income grew, so did the things I wanted to invest in. Trust has always been an issue growing up in poverty, and to be incarcerated made it even worse. But again, I had to eradicate the fear, the doubt, and I had to take a chance. Remember, chances make champions. Therefore, I couldn't be afraid if I wanted to accomplish my goal. I wasn't in prison counting the years. I had reached a point where I was counting the checks. I wasn't like other inmates who got excited that I had got down to only having a year left. I was telling myself I'm running out of time. If I'm going to accomplish my goal, I need to make more money. It was my goal to come home with 200 or 300,000 strong, and I only had 70,000. I felt I was losing the battle. Therefore, I started thinking of other ways to make money, which meant I had to invest in other ideas, which I eventually did. Number 1, I invested in ATM machines. Number 2, I invested in hair and wigs. Number 3, I invested in a diesel truck and trailer. Number 4, I invested in sex sounds. Number 5, I invested in music. Number 6, I invested in books. Number 7, I invested in cars. Number 8, I invested in a car racer simulator. I didn't believe I would get rich doing any of these things, and I didn't set out to think that I would. My mindset was, as long as I make a profit and create an income, I would be happy with that. My concept was to create multiple income. I believed would elevate my financial status, and in order to do that, I had to invest. My investment system. The investment system is extremely important. It will limit your chances of losing your money. Although I mentioned the system earlier in the book, it was only brief, and the importance of investing is so important that I had to dedicate a whole topic to this matter. No matter your situation, there is always a bright side, and although I was incarcerated with very little resources, it forced me to figure out the perfect investment system. Recoup your money in 4 to 8 months. I felt that if you are going to invest your money, you should be able to recoup your investment back within 4 to 8 months. If not, then it's not a good investment. This is a rule of my investment system. It's a rule that I never break unless I believe if it takes 10 months and I like the investment, I will sometimes break my rule. But overall, this is one of my rules, and it's a rule you should follow. Example. When I invested in my books, the cost would fluctuate from $400 to $1,500, depending on who I was doing business with and how much knowledge I had at the time. Knowledge is important. Once you know your business and craft, you will learn how to save money. Let's say the book cost me $800 to write, edit, make the cover, and publish. If I had made $100 a month for 8 months, I would have recouped my investment. Anything after that is a profit. But, of course, if I want to make more money off my book, I will need to invest in marketing. If I spent $5,000 on marketing and I made $800 a month, I would make my money back in 6 months. This is a good investment. Example. I invested in an ATM machine. The cost was $2,200 for the machine and installation. Although I had to find the location since I was incarcerated, I had to pay someone to manage the machine. This is an overhead or an employee or hiring another company. Therefore, although I made my surcharge at $2.50 for each transaction, I had to give up $1 for each transaction to an employee liquor store owner, shop owner, or a managing company. I always calculate my success at the lowest numbers. Therefore, if I made only 6 transactions a day, it would add up to 180 transactions a month, a total of $450 a month. But I would have to give $180 to the managing company, which would equal only $270 a month for myself. Still, even at this low number of sales and paying a company to manage the machine, in 8 months, I would make $2,160. I would be $40 from recouping my investment. For me, that's a good investment because every month after that is all profit. Example. With cars, it's a little different, but it's the same system. With cars, I would invest $11,000 to $15,000 a car. I would purchase it wrecked at around $11,000. Although it would be valued at $30,000, it would cost from $3,000 to $6,000 to fix, which would cost $14,000 to $17,000. The car will likely have a salvageable title, which would lower the value of the car. Therefore, once it was fixed, I would sell it for around $24,000, $6,000 cheaper than the blue book of the car. If my investment was $17,000 and I sold it for $24,000, I made a profit of $7,000 in 2 to 3 months. I didn't utilize any employees. I hired a tow truck. I paid a shop to fix it, and I posted it on Craigslist and other sites that sell items such as OfferUp, etc. The point is, I was able to recoup my investment and make a profit within 2 to 3 months, sometimes 4 months. I would be upset if a shop took 3 to 4 months to fix my car because time is money. But even if I sold the car in 5 months and made a $6,000 profit, it was still a $1,200 profit a month. Example. When I purchased a simulator, my investment was $2,200 for the simulator and $2,000 for the trailer in which I bolted the simulator inside, and paid another $1,500 for advertising on the outside of the enclosed trailer, a total of $4,700. I rented the simulator for $60 an hour with the hopes of renting it out 48 hours a month, mainly on weekends. This would give me a total of $2,880 a month. I would give my employee, who would deliver, pick up, clean, and store, $10 off each hour, which meant I would make $2,400 a month and my employee would make $480 a month. This would be his role in my business, which could hopefully rent out more than 48 hours a month. The goal was to rent it out for 60 hours a month. I would recoup my investment in the first 2 months. For sure, it would be within 2 to 3 months. I pointed out 3 examples of my investments. You see, they all stayed within the investment plan. If you have a solid investment plan with limited losses, it's very hard to lose. No employees, possibly one, utilize other companies by me being incarcerated. It was hard to employ anyone. Most people had their own life to live, and I would just end up being a burden to them, which was something I refused to be. It irked me to be viewed as a burden. If people don't answer on the first call, I would likely not call them back. I realized early in the game, if you wanted someone to assist you in your business affairs, you needed to pay them. And when that didn't work like I wanted it to, I realized it was better to pay companies who were professionals in that field. They would perform at their highest level because they wanted good ratings. They didn't care if I was incarcerated. They didn't judge as long as I paid the cost of their service. I was allowed to even put money on their phones so they could accept my calls from prison. This made it easier to do business. When I chose to utilize other businesses, it took away the choice of using a family member as an employee, or someone I hired who would not take the job seriously, or a friend who I hoped would do the job. Example. When it came to investing in cars, I would have my son or daughter go on Copart. Of course, after I paid $600 to set it up, paid for a temporary seller's permit and a business license. I also had set up an LLC, limited liability company, which would represent me as a businessman. I called it Gennaro Enterprise LLC. I would tell them my bid on the car, which would likely be higher than the rest. During the auction, I would let them continue to bid. It would last 2 to 3 hours. I would call back 4 to 5 hours later to see if I won. If I did, I would pay the cost and the fees. Any car under $15,000, the fee would be $1,050 plus $300 in other fees. Over $15,000 would be 12% of the cost and around $300 in other fees. I would pay by having a Cash App set up, a credit card, or by putting someone I trusted in charge of around $20,000. Once it was all paid for and ready to pick up, I would hire a tow truck from a legitimate tow truck company. I had to make sure they were legit in case of an accident. I couldn't afford to lose my investment. The tow truck would tow the car to the chosen body shop. I had a few that I did business with. Once the price was decided for parts and labor, I would receive the invoice and I would send the money and a deposit on the labor cost. Once it was done, I would pay the balance and tow the car to a safe location. I would then either sell it to CarMax, Carvana, AutoNation, Vroom, or to a private buyer. For this, I would not use an employee, only other companies who would do what they were hired to do. Example. When I invested in the wigs, I invested in my niece who had her own hair shop where she did hair. I asked her, did she have wigs in the shop? And she said no. She said when customers wanted a wig or weave, she would send them to another hair shop. I asked her, would she like an investor? She said there's room for an investor. I started out by giving her $2,500 to purchase wigs and hair for her shop. As each one sold, which they sold for almost double the investment, she would send the money to my Cash App. I had no employee. I didn't hire any other companies. It was simple. I would invest $2,500 and I would make $5,000. It would usually take around 60 days. That's $2,500 a month, give or take a week or two. Even if it took 3 months, I made $1,600 a month. Example. When it came to my books, I had no employees. Everyone I did business with was a company. The editor had her own company. The book cover was made by a company. The format of paperback and eBook was created by the editing company. My favorite editing company is Jane Eachwald, Ambler Document Processing, P.O. Box 938, Norwalk, Connecticut 06852. Once the book was complete, I would have it uploaded to Amazon. From there, I would pay for promotion. I would get free promotions from Amazon. I would pay for promotion at BookBub, New in Books, Book Gorilla, and Bargain Books. These are all different promotional companies. I would hire a company to manage my Facebook and website. I had no employees. I would make sales and I would have the same company who managed my Facebook and website upload my books and monitor my sales. I would receive printouts through JPay in prison. A lot of my receipts, invoices, and photos would come through JPay. It's how I kept and organized my files. Automatic machine. I call a machine when I have figured out how to put together an investment that will make me an income every month, month after month, on automatic after it has been created. When I can create an income like this with no employee and it works continuously, I call it a machine. The machine is very important to the investment system. If the machine does not exist, it is not a good investment. Once it becomes a machine, it becomes a system that works on automatic. When you create an income that becomes automatic, it's a beautiful feeling. It means you have created a business that doesn't require your presence. These investments I have made are invisible to me. All I see are invoices, receipts, photos of what I've bought, the location or business, etc., but I have never seen any of it. How can I when I'm incarcerated? I have no computer. I have no phone. I do this from the uncomfortable place of my bunk. My bunk is my office. I don't even have my own cell. That would be a better office, but it's okay, the bunk works just fine. Why? Because I have programmed my mind to block everyone out. I say this to enlighten you as to why I was forced to create this investment system. If not, it wouldn't have worked. I can't be where my ATM machines are located. I can't see my car online and buy it. Once I own it, I've never seen it. I don't know how the car smells. I don't know how the screen looks. I don't know how fast it is. Why? Because I'm incarcerated. They won't let me be there. But under these circumstances, I created income without ever having to be there. This means if you did this, you could spend more time with your children and family. You will be more relaxed, less stressed out. You can't let your job consume you, and you shouldn't allow your business to consume you. Since I can't be there, I need to create a business that works on automatic, day after day, month after month, year after year. That's what I call the machine. Example. In the car game, I've created a machine. I created an investment that allows me to get on the phone, monitored by the institution. Every second is recorded. This means if I said or plotted anything illegal, I would be in trouble. Therefore, I must do everything within the law. I give my son the bid of the type of car, the year, the model, and what damages I am looking for. I will have photos of the car sent to the auto body shop for an estimate on how much it could cost to repair, or I might have someone at the auction go look at the car for a more detailed estimate. I will make the bid. If the car is worth $20,000, then I know I can't spend no more than $12,000, including the repairs. This means I would make a bid for $7,000. I figure if I get the car for $7,000, I'll have room to fix it for $5,000, and I'll sell it for $16,000. When I win the bid, I'll pay for the cost and call the tow truck company. I will have the car towed to the auto body shop. It will remain there until it is fixed. For a fast return on my profit, I will sell the car to Carvana, CarMax, AutoNation, or Vroom. To get a better profit, I would post the car online. It would take longer, but I would likely make an extra 1,000 or 2, maybe even 3. But when the parts of the investment plan work like that without my presence, I call it a machine. This is not an automatic system, but it can be repeated over and over again. Example. The ATM business is a business of mine that truly runs on automatic day after day, month after month, and year after year. The only way it stops is if the owner goes out of business. The owner doesn't want to renew the contract, or I decide to sell. If none of these things happen, it will be a continuous income that will run on automatic. It's a business that meets the investment system on all points. The only dilemma is finding the location. But what I figured out was just to ask the owners of the businesses I was already doing business with. Everything else consisted of the routine phone calls. I had the ATM Googled. I received the package in the mail. I filled out the forms, including my bank account number, so my funds would be deposited every day. I ordered the machine, set a date for it to be installed, and located a managing company who specializes in managing ATM machines. Again, I've never seen the machine except by photos. I've never seen the location except by photo. The machine does the rest. The money is deposited daily in the account from the managing company, either daily or every 2 weeks, and I just sit back and collect the checks. It's a machine that works on automatic. Example. Another example of my business investment working on automatic without no employees is my hair business. After hearing about women who have their own hair salon in the community, I reached out to them to see if I could invest in wigs, hair that they could stock in their business. This would attract more customers, and their customers would not have to go to other stores to purchase the wigs and bring them to the shop. Once the parties agree, it's a simple process. I will give $2,500 to $5,000 to purchase the product. Every time a wig sells, I receive money to my Cash App. No employees. My appearance is not required, and I continue to make money. Once I receive my full payment, I reinvest. It's a machine that runs on automatic. Example. While incarcerated, I created audio porn. I had done it for the inmates since porn magazines are unauthorized. I invested in studio time, had it mixed, and uploaded to a distribution company. I had a cover created, and that was it. It streamed 50,000 streams a week, and I created an income of $3,000 a month. There were no employees, no advertising, very few sales. I made money off of streaming while I was incarcerated. It was a machine that ran on automatic. With my businesses, I don't expect to get rich. My only goal is to create an income. I believe with all my businesses combined, the multiple income will make me financially stable. With this type of investment system, you will minimize your chances of taking a loss. You will not be consumed by your investment because your presence is not needed. You will recoup your money within 4 to 8 months, and your business will run like a machine on automatic. It's a win system. Very little or no overhead. I added this to the investment system because overhead in a business is something you can't sleep on. If overhead costs more than your profit, your business will go out of business. Therefore, overhead must be addressed in order to have a successful investment system. Overhead are business expenses not chargeable to a particular part of the work. Businesses with too much overhead will likely fail. Therefore, with my investment system, I make sure to minimize the overhead as low as possible. Employees can be overhead. Electricity bills could be overhead. Maintenance costs could be overhead, which is why eliminating employees is a huge plus in minimizing your overhead. Since the investment doesn't require your presence, you eliminate gas expense, and since you will recoup your investment within 4 to 8 months, you have eradicated your potential chance of a loss. Example. I've pointed out several examples of my investments and how they meet up to the standards of qualifying for the investment system. The same goes for overhead. With sex sounds, audio porn, there was zero overhead. There were no promotions, no employees. The company received a percentage of each sale in streaming, and the investment was recouped. Example. With the books, the overhead was the initial investment and marketing, but as long as the book continued to sell, the initial investment was recouped. And although I had to pay for marketing, it actually pays to market because marketing yields more sales, which creates a bigger profit. But self-publishing requires no employees, and your presence is only needed at events. Everything else is done online. Example. With the ATM machines, there was no overhead. The machine would pay for itself in 8 months, and the managing company received its payment only when the machine made transactions. This is what we call no overhead. Example. With the investment in wigs, hair, it was still no overhead. The initial investment would be made and recouped in a month or two, and the owner would make money from the additional customers and for actually doing the hair. This investment required no overhead, and it measured up to the requirements of the investment system. With this investment system, it's very hard to lose. I haven't lost on an investment yet, and I believe you will not either. If you hold true to the 4 investment techniques that I've pointed out, any investment that's able to offer all 4 of these techniques is considered a good investment. Third thing you must know. Honesty is the surest way to success. The day at last will come when the dishonest businessman or woman will repent in sorrow and suffering. But no man, woman ever needs to apologize for being honest. Copart. Copart is a huge auction that sells millions of cars all throughout the United States. You can find them at www.copart.com. They have every type of car you can possibly think of, but they differ in what type of damage the vehicle may have. Some have minor damage, such as scratches, damages from a hailstorm, wrecked vehicles, stolen vehicles. Some have good titles, and some have salvage titles. Some are totaled out, and some look like they have nothing wrong with them. The minor the damage, the lower the miles, and the later the model, the higher the bid may be. If it's a car everyone may want, you will likely have to pay more, especially if you are bidding against a car dealer. If you are looking for a certain type of car in a certain year, you go to the filter and locate the cars you may be interested in. If you choose 2019 to 2021 Dodge Challenger RT Scat Pack, it will usually show all the cars they have within that selection. If you don't narrow down the city or state, you will see cars from different cities and different states. You will see cars with front-end damage, rear-end damage, side damages, rollovers, etc., but you will find the car that will interest you. They give you all the information needed to make the best choice for the vehicle you want. Register. In order to register, you will need $200 for unlimited bidding or $50 for bidding on 2 to 4 cars a year. They also require a $600 deposit in case you bid on a car and choose not to pay for it and pick it up. You will also need temporary seller's permit, a business certificate, corporation or LLC, matching address, business seller permit, identification. Once everything is complete, you begin bidding, and you can bid on as many vehicles as you choose. Third-party vehicle inspection. When you can't personally inspect a vehicle, they have a third-party person who will do the inspection for you, for a fee, of course. Since I was incarcerated, I was not able to inspect the vehicle in person. Starting at $119, Same-day turnaround. Can be ordered up to 24 hours prior to live auction. Available for passenger, commercial, and recreational vehicles. Available for any U.S.-based vehicles. They offer other services. Go to www.copart.com to find out more information. But I pointed out what I believed would be important to your success. I also wanted you to know the charges, fees, and payments you might endure. The charges, fees add up fast. Shift. You can go to www.shift.com and they will tell you how much they will pay you for your car in less than 5 minutes. You will have to fill in the following information: license plate, VIN number, make, model, year, miles, sunroof, engine, seats, is it fully loaded, wrecked, how many owners. They may ask a few more questions. It depends on the vehicle, but after you've filled everything out, the amount they pay will appear. $42,200. They will come to you and buy it and haul it off. Copart and Shift is a huge asset to buying and selling cars. The bottom line, you should make an effort to make a profit every month, even if it takes you 2 to 4 months to fix the car and sell it. East Coast Auto Source. East Coast Auto Source is another company from Bedford, Virginia. They are located at 4180 Rocky Ford Road, Bedford, Virginia. Phone number 1-800-869-0655. Or you can go to their website, www.ecoastauto.com or sale@ecoastauto.com. This is another car company I would recommend that you look into to purchase cars. They are not an auction. They actually sell cars a little differently, but it's easier and effective, which includes the photos of the vehicle from all angles, the price they want for the vehicle, the Blue Book value prices of the vehicle, the description of the damage to the vehicle. If they have the parts for the vehicle, they will let you know. They have parts for most of their cars. They will assist in helping you deliver your car if you are located in a different state, and they have good prices that allow room to make a profit. Also, advertise, post. I buy cars, top prices, call now. This is a great way to find good cars for sale and then lowball the customer. Another company you can look up is Nordstrom's Automotive Inc., 25513 480th Avenue, Garrettson, South Dakota, 57030. Fourth thing you must know. There is nothing hidden that shall not be revealed. Every thought that is harbored in the mind must, by virtue of the impelling force, which is inherent in the universe, at last blossom into act, good or bad according to its nature. James Allen. Tow truck, driving. I felt the subject was very important simply because when I make investments, I do all I can to minimize my cost and any type of loss. Most people will purchase a vehicle from an auction or a lot will likely drive it to the next location, if it's drivable. As a person investing in vehicles to make a profit, you might look at hiring a tow truck as a waste of money, but I disagree. First off, I couldn't drive the vehicle simply because I was incarcerated. Therefore, I had no other choice. But I did have other options. I could have allowed my son to drive the vehicle, but I felt it wasn't a smart decision. Why? Because I would have been taking a chance on creating a loss. Reason how I could have enhanced my chances on creating a loss? A car accident. That would have been bad. The car was not insured. The car wasn't safe. It was a risk not worth taking. Even after the vehicle was fixed at the auto body shop, I still utilized a tow truck to tow it to my desired location. I refused to take the risk. Plus, I never registered or insured any of my cars, so they shouldn't have been on the road. It is true that chances make champions, but champions limit their chances. I personally utilize tow truck companies because that's their profession. This is what they do. They are the professionals in the tow game. Why take a risk on losing your investment for $100 to $700? You have to look at the tow as part of the investment. Plus, it eliminates an employee or having to depend on someone else who might not take your investment as a priority. Also, you must understand the importance of sticking to the rules of the investment plan. The investment plan is designed to keep you as an investor from losing your investment, which means no employees when you can hire a company. Put the responsibility on the company. It's their job. They are insured and will make sure the job is done correctly. After the purchase. Once the vehicle is paid for and you are now the proud owner of the vehicle, it's time to call the tow truck company. The great thing about tow truck companies is the fact that they are not hard to find. Simply Google tow truck company and they will all pop up. Once you've shopped around and found the tow truck company you feel comfortable with, which includes the type of tow truck they use, flatbed, standard, etc., you don't want your car damaged. The fee they charge for the tow. Their ratings as a company, 1 to 5 stars. The complaints that are online about the company. Are they dependable? How long have they been in business? All this plays a major role on how you decide to utilize the company. It's also important that you build a business relationship with the company you choose, simply because if you like their service, you should become a repeat customer. Once you have become comfortable with a tow truck company, they will become a part of the machine and you should utilize their service on all the transports of your vehicles. When you gain confidence in the companies you do business with, it gives you a comfortable feeling and eradicates any doubt that you may have had about them. Being confident in the businesses you do business with makes doing business easier. Fifth thing you must know. Habit is repetition. Man, woman repeats the same thoughts, the same actions, the same experiences over and over again until they are incorporated with his or her being, until they are built into his or her character as part of his or herself. If you lack confidence, lack belief in yourself, or you blame others for your situation, change your thoughts. Create new habits, think positive, and transform into the better you. Body and fender shop. When it comes to choosing a body and fender shop, it's very important that you take your time and research the body and fender shop. This is extremely important because time is money, and a body and fender shop could cause you to not only lose your profit, but could put you in debt with your investment. This means that you might be forced to sell your vehicle for less than you bought it for. This could depend on how much the body and fender shop charges you and how long it takes to get your vehicle finished. I had to learn the hard way. I chose a body and fender shop my son recommended, and since I was incarcerated and wasn't sure if the people I once did business with when I was free were still in business. The shop was a good shop who had a clientele of an elite group of people. They even did work for celebrities, but for some reason they ended up keeping my car for 5 months and the value of my car dropped. I ended up losing $4,000 on the deal, but I could have lost more. Plus, instead of a quick flip and selling the vehicle to CarMax, Carvana, AutoNation, Shift, or Vroom, I had to post the car and wait for the best offer to come through. It was frustrating. I was miserable hearing excuse after excuse, but I had to remain patient with the investment system. That type of situation was not supposed to happen, which is why I'm explaining to you what happened to me. Bad thoughts went through my mind. At one time, I wondered, was the car even still there? I thought about what if the building got caught on fire, and the worst part of it all was I had invested the bulk of my money into that vehicle. Therefore, it's important to go to the shop in the beginning and get a first-hand impression of the shop and who you will be doing business with. Things you should do first. Visit the body and fender shop to see if you like it. See if you and the owner would have a good rapport. Check the rating on the business. Does it have 1 star, 2 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars, or 5 stars? 1, 2, or 3 is not good. It should at least have a 3 to 5. Find out their turnover rate. You want your vehicle done in 2 weeks to 2 months, no longer than 2 months. Call a few times to see if someone always answers the phone. Very important. If you are a customer, you shouldn't be ignored. Get the opinions of other customers. Check online for complaints. Very important. Make sure their shop is insured. This will help you get a better understanding of the body and fender shop you will be dealing with. After you get comfortable with the company, you can afford to trust them, and the body shop will become a part of the machine. But if not, you go and find another shop. Things to look out for that can lead to bad business. Seeing cars sitting and not being worked on. Ask about that car. Is it a customer's? Long-term turnarounds. Bad ratings, 1, 2, or a 3. Nobody answers the phone. They want half of the payment up front. Bad communication. The customer is always right. Not professional. Workers looking high or drinking. No time for you. If your car sits a week without being worked on, take it somewhere else. Bad feeling. If it doesn't feel right, don't do business. If you start to feel anything bad or experience anything on the list, you should search for another body and fender shop. You do not want your vehicle stuck in somebody's shop. It's a terrible feeling. It's like they will be holding your car hostage, and it will bring your investment to a halt. This is why when you pick the body and fender shop, you do it wisely. Do not rush into your decision. A body and fender shop could cripple your investment. It can definitely put it on hold. 2 or more cars to be fixed. If you have graduated to purchasing more than one car, or if you decided to purchase more than one car, I would advise that you get them fixed at 2 different body and fender shops so you can have both of your cars being worked on at the same time, unless the other shop agrees to work on them both at the same time. Time is money, and you should never waste either one of them. Money makes the world go around, and time you can never get back. I would only have a body and fender shop to fix both of my cars only after I've become confident in their performance and I've become comfortable with doing business with them. I would not take a chance on both vehicles if I was trying them out for the first time. To do so would be a mistake, a huge mistake. 6th thing you must know. Thoroughness consists of doing little things as though they were the greatest things in all the world. He or she who acquires the quality of thoroughness becomes the man or woman of usefulness and influence. Different ways to utilize your investment. When it comes to investing in vehicles, there's more than one way that you can profit. One way, you will make the profit and the investment back in one lump. The other way could build a monthly income which will recoup your investment back in 8 months as designed in the investment system. Sell the vehicle. As we've pointed out earlier in the book, if you want a quick turnover with a lesser profit, you can sell to CarMax, Vroom, AutoNation, Carvana, or Shift. In order to be eligible to sell your vehicle, your car will need a clean title. It can have a salvage title, but the offer would likely be less than what you paid for the vehicle. You would likely take a loss. Therefore, if you want to make a profit, you need to purchase a vehicle with a clean title. This is possible with Copart, but the vehicle would likely bid at a higher price. If you want to make a larger profit, you can post the vehicle on OfferUp, Craigslist, and many other sites that sell items. It won't be hard, and it would likely sell within 30 days, especially if you offer a fair price or a deal. Salvage cars sell pretty good. They usually have low miles. The vehicles are fairly new, and they are offered at $3,000 to $6,000 below Blue Book value. There are people in the world who look forward to those prices. They use them for personal vehicles. Rent a car service. Once you make an investment in vehicles, you have provided an opportunity for you to enter into other businesses. One in particular would be the rental car business. You already have a head start because you created a corporation, LLC, and you obtained a business license, which was required to be able to bid on Copart. The beauty of having a rental car business is the fact that you don't actually have to start your own business if you decided to rent your car through Turo. Turo. Turo is a website app company that allows individuals with personal vehicles to sign up with Turo, fill out their application, and upload the photo of your vehicle to their site. With Turo, you will not need a corporation, an LLC, or a business license. The company will do the advertising for your vehicle, and they will provide rental insurance. They're located all over the U.S., anywhere that has internet, and, if approved, you can make an income from renting your cars on their site. There are individuals who rent over 10 vehicles through Turo, and they make a good living. Through my investment system, you will get vehicles at lower prices, which could make the opportunity lucrative for you. If you do decide to utilize Turo, there are rules which include no odometer rollback, inaccurate or inconsistent mileage, no vehicles that had been declared a total loss at any point, no flood, water, fire damage, hail damage vehicles, subject to outstanding finance. They charge 14% to 40% depending on the state you are located in. They do not accept washed titles, salvage titles, rebuilt titles, written off, lemon, buyback, junk, reconstructed, irreparable titles. They are ineligible vehicle titles. Turo does not accept vehicles that indicate the vehicle has sustained significant damage and or may be unsafe to drive. Turo does not allow you to list these types of vehicles. If you do so, you'll be in violation of Turo policies. Turo will remove your vehicles from Turo, void your protection plan, and may also suspend your Turo account. Therefore, the choice is yours, and Turo is not your only choice. You can choose to start your own rent-a-car business or deal with other rental car app companies. Rent-a-car business. The rent-a-car business could be a lucrative business for investors who invest into the vehicle business. If you decide to open up your own rent-a-car business, you will not only create a monthly income, but you will receive all the profit. A rental business rents vehicles at affordable daily and weekly prices. All sorts of different parties are interested in car rentals. Common customers include business and leisure travelers, those whose vehicles are out of commission, and businesses. If you plan to start a rental car business with your investment in vehicles, I would highly recommend you first create a business plan. This will give you a guide on what you will need to do. Business plan. A clear business plan is essential for success as an entrepreneur. It will help you map out the specifics of your business and discover some unknowns. Below are a few important topics you should consider. What are the startup and ongoing costs? Remember, it must stay within the investment system. Who will be your targeting market? How much will you charge customers? What will you name your business? Now that we've figured out the right questions, let's dive deeper into each one, simply because I want to make this as easy for you as possible. Why not? We are on the same team, and I want to see you win. The cost. This type of business could start out with just one vehicle, although it would be better to at least start with 2 or more and eventually have a fleet of vehicles. You would need an office, which could be at your home or on a lot, a computer, printer, high-speed internet, the payment of corporation fees, insurance for the business and automobiles, vehicles maintenance tools, or a mechanic shop you rely on, a car tracker, a closed-circuit camera system, employee wages, salaries, and marketing efforts. It's likely you will already have most of the necessities, but your cost to start if you have the vehicles will be less than $5,000, depending on how big or small you would like to start out. Nowadays, you don't need a lot or an office. You can rent your cars from home. Ongoing expenses for your rental car business. Ongoing business expenses include employee wages, salaries, if you have employees, utilities, if you have any, insurance, it's a must, servicing of vehicles, office, parking lot. If you choose to have an office, you can park your cars anywhere, including on the street, high-speed internet, marketing, and website maintenance. I would suggest you create your own website through GoDaddy.com for $1,000 to $1,200. I would suggest marketing on all social media platforms. They offer different packages. Employees should be paid $8 to $12 an hour or a set income every 2 weeks, if you choose to hire an employee. I would employ an on-call mechanic. You must have rental insurance. Budget will likely be from $3,000 to $8,000 a month, depending on the choices you decide on. If you have very good credit, 750 or more, you purchase vehicles by financing to add to the fleet, or you can continue to purchase them from Copart or both. I believe they are both good choices because in the long run, the vehicle will pay for itself. You should try to add a vehicle to your fleet every 2 to 3 months. The more vehicles, the more money. After you start getting 8 vehicles or more, I would consider renting a warehouse to house your vehicles. The more vehicles you obtain, the higher your expense will grow. Remember, crawl before you walk. This means you should take one step at a time. Build as you grow. Target market. The ideal customer would be other businesses that require numerous car rentals for employees. Another covered customer persona is a group of business travelers who are willing to spend a considerable amount of money on car rentals while away from home. Others can be tourist, which means location is key, Vegas, Miami, Hawaii, Los Angeles, New York, etc. Loaner cars for a car dealership or auto mechanic. Long-term rentals, short-term rentals for business travelers. A car rental business makes money by renting automobiles to those who need a means of transportation while away from home, to embark on a trip, or as a substitute for a vehicle that is being prepared. The fee you could charge customers. Rates for car rentals differ by the quality of the vehicle and the location. In general, the low end of car rentals, such as a Nissan Versa, would cost around $35 to $50 per day. Upscale rentals like a Mercedes-Benz or Lexus will run upwards of $100 to $200 or more per day. The cost would be higher in a location full of tourists. The profit of a car rental business. Your car rental business can rake in the cash if you have an optimal location, a diverse fleet of vehicles, electric included, and competitive rates. It is possible to make $4,000 to $12,000 a month in the first couple of months. If you choose to continue to grow your business, it will eventually reach the mid-six-figure mark. Expand across the region and/or nation, and your car rental business can make millions of dollars a year. When your vehicles begin to get old, sell them before they depreciate beyond a predetermined value. The name of your business. Choosing the right name is important and challenging. If you don't already have a name in mind, you can Google how to name a business or use your name. I have a unique name. Therefore, I always use my first name. I'm in the process of creating GennaroRentals.com as of writing this book. Register your business. Your state's business records, federal and state trademark records, social media platforms, web domain availability, secure your domain name, Dun & Bradstreet, the Yellow Book, NAV, Experian. It's important to also build business credit. I recommend you read my book, Build 100,000 in Business Credit. Set up a professional email account. Try to name it the same as your business, @yourcompany.com. Google's G Suite offers a business email service that comes with other useful tools, including word processing, spreadsheets, and more. Create a rental contract. One of the most important documents for someone who will be operating a car rental business is the rental contract. The rental agreement is a contract between the rental car company, you, and the customer who will be renting the vehicle. The contract will cover liabilities, what happens in the case of an accident, and an explanation of who is responsible for what. To make sure your rental contract is fully protecting your business and your customers, you must run your contract by a legal professional who has experience with businesses in the rental industry. Form a legal entity. The most common business structure types are the sole proprietorship, partnership, limited liability company, LLC, and corporation. Establishing a legal business entity such as an LLC or corporation will protect you from being held personally liable if your car rental business is sued. You can start an LLC through LegalZoom. LegalZoom will also help you with answers and questions and what's best for your situation. With your LLC or corporation, you will receive your EIN number, which is considered your business identification, and will register you to pay taxes. Create a business bank account. Utilizing dedicated business banking and credit accounts is essential for personal and asset protection. When your personal and business accounts are mixed, your personal assets, your home, car, and other valuables are at risk in the event your business is sued. In business law, this is referred to as piercing your corporate veil. Additionally, learning how to build business credit will help you get credit cards, $100,000 loans for your business, instead of using your own money. Plus, you get better interest rates, higher lines of credit, and more. Read Building $100,000 in Business Credit by Gennaro Patterson. This book will provide you with step-by-step on how to create $20,000 to $100,000 loans and more. It will show you how to build your business credit. Your business account separates your personal assets from your company's assets, which is necessary for personal asset protection. It's important to have business credit cards. It's important to make tax filing easier. It's important to separate personal spending from business expenses by having all your business expenses all in one place. It's important to build your company's credit history, which will be needed to raise capital and investment in the future, such as bank loans or investors. Business accounting. Recording your various expenses and sources of income is critical to understanding the financial performance of your business. Keeping accurate and detailed accounts also greatly simplifies your annual tax filing. Make sure you have all your permits and licenses. Failure to acquire necessary permits and licenses can result in hefty fines or even cause your business to be shut down. This is something you do not want. State and local business licensing requirements. Certain state permits and licenses may be needed to operate a car rental business. Learn more about licensing requirements in your state by visiting SBA's reference to state licenses and permits. Car rental business insurance. Just as with licenses and permits, your business must have insurance in order to operate safely and lawfully. Business insurance protects your company's financial well-being in the event of a covered loss. For your business, you will need rental car insurance, liability, which will cover the business. If your car is totaled, stolen, or vandalized, you want your insurance company to cover it. There are several types of insurance companies and policies created for different types of businesses. I recommend you research what business insurance for your car rental business is best for you and your budget. Generally, two types of insurance apply to rental car companies: liability insurance for your business and the insurance you offer customers when a car is delivered to them for the rental term. Clients should be under no obligation to accept coverage. Some are covered by the credit card issuer, or they have coverage under their own policies. In general, the coverage offered to your clients will consist of loss damage waiver, liability, personal accident, and personal effects insurance. When permits are issued, most states require renters to be a minimum of 21 years of age, and some states require them to be at least 25 for insurance purposes. You will need to find a separate fleet insurance provider. Things you should know. If you are planning to have employees, front office, or out on the lot, you will need a federal tax identification number and a state tax ID number. Business registration fees may apply. You will need to determine the types of cars to rent: small, economy, mid-size, luxury, electric, etc. How many cars you will start with and the size of your fleet. Zoning laws often dictate these matters and should be checked before establishing your business. Figure out your location that would best generate the most traffic. Locations near airports and high tourist areas are best. Don't lag on marketing. It pays to promote your business, and you should plan far in advance for the cost of advertising and marketing. Create a payment and database system for clients. Keep your cars well maintained. Have a lawyer look over all contracts. Have a mechanic employed on the lot. Make sure you are insured and make it available to your customers. Create an online presence. Just as with any other business, as I pointed out and taught in the book YouTube, Mastering Your Business Channel by Gennaro Patterson, which points out how important it is for every business to have an online presence. If not, you might have an invisible business. It's a must-do for any business to establish an online presence so customers can discover your business. In addition to a business website, you should consider setting up pages on business review sites, such as Yelp and Google. Also, social media pages where customers can contact your business with questions and leave reviews. This includes Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, and you should have a YouTube channel. Just like with any other business, you must build your business brand. If you have read any of my business books, you know how much I stress about building your fan base, customer base, and building your brand. Again, read YouTube, Mastering Your Business Channel by Gennaro Patterson. It will go in great detail of what you need to do. Provide exceptional service. When you build a customer base, a fan base, or a brand, you build it by providing a good service. All of your planning and preparation may be behind you, but your work is far from over. In order to make your business profitable, you must attract your targeted market, and you must retain them. To do this, you must provide your customers with a high-quality product. No lemons, dependable, clean vehicles, and stellar service, and you need to build a strong relationship with your local community. The quality of your website and mobile app matters a great deal. Make sure the vehicle reservation process is easy and computer-friendly as possible. This is how you attract and retain customers. Research your local competitors' rates and match or beat those rates. Offer a wide array of vehicles that appeal to drivers with varying taste. Your fleet should include luxury vehicles, economy vehicles, sport utility vehicles, sport cars, compact vehicles, intermediate vehicles. They should always be clean, run good, and should always have a full tank of gas. This is how you build return customers, loyal customers, and a brand. Of course, it's likely you will not have a variety of vehicles like this in the beginning, but strive to build up to it. Required additional insurance. Car rental insurance is highly specialized, and you are likely to find a partner that only works to insure the individual vehicles in the fleet. After acquiring the general business insurance policy, move to find a separate fleet insurance provider. Consider a customized car rental insurance policy. Some rental business models are different, however, and they require a customized policy. Make a thorough list of the inventory and projected turnover, along with a business model describing the vehicle use to help determine the policy requirements. Consider offering supplemental insurance. In the car rental business, selling supplemental insurance to customers is common. The supplemental policies originate with the insurance company, but the business seeks a markup to profit from the additional policies. Supplemental insurance policies of liability, accident, and personal items are typical upsells for your company. Insurance is typically passed on to the customer. It's usually $20 a day. Big business. As of this writing, the global car rental market size was valued at $92.92 billion in 2019. It is estimated to reach $214,004 billion by 2027, registering a CAGR of 10.7% from 2020 to 2027. If you feel like this is the business for you, either the quick sale of vehicles or to establish a rent-a-car business, the secret is to get started today. You are in control of your destination. You are the captain of your ship. If you don't do it, nobody else will. It's a lucrative business that requires you to get paid daily, not weekly or monthly. It's hard to lose when your money comes in daily. I do want to add, if you want to make a decent profit, 3 to 5 cars will be good to start off with. If your focus is on luxury cars, you can start out with only 2. Quick $2,000 flips. I believe the quick $2,000 flips is the genius of the game. It doesn't give you the maximum profit, but it cuts out every middleman or other unnecessary companies needed. It's the quick flip, and if it can be mastered, it can generate a hefty monthly income. Imagine if you could do 3 a week, the good week goal. 3 a week generates $6,000 a week, $24,000 a month. 4 a week generates $8,000 a week, $32,000 a month. 5 a week generates $10,000 a week, $40,000 a month. When you start flipping cars at 3 a week, you would have accomplished the good week goal. This is something you want to strive for, simply because if you can accomplish this, it will put you in the category of making $24,000 or more a month. Bad week goal. The good thing about this game, even when you end up in the bad week goal, you still do good, at least better than those with a 9-to-5 job. 1 car a week generates $2,000 a week, $8,000 a month. 2 cars a week generates $4,000 a week, $16,000 a month. Still, some very good numbers. Now, let's get to how we do it. Remember, I'm accustomed to making these moves without being present because of being incarcerated. Therefore, it has been designed to be easy, especially if you are not incarcerated. How it's done. The quick flip game. First, you must have a smartphone, notebook, laptop, or computer, which I'm sure should not be a problem. First step. Number 1. Post, I buy cars, fast cash. This stops you from searching online all day searching for cars. This is a way to find cars, and it works. Plus, the customer who took their time to send their car to me tells me a few things. It tells me they will go lower than their price. It tells me they want fast cash. It also tells me they're serious. It also saves me time. But remember, I was incarcerated. Therefore, I had to create a way for the sellers to come to me. Next step. Number 1. Search through the cars you think will make a quick, no hassle, not problem quick sale. Number 2. Look at the year. Nothing over 10 years old. Yes, you're going to need at least $15,000 or more to do these quick flips, simply because I want the quick sale to CarMax, Carvana, AutoNation, etc. Therefore, the car needs to be less than 10 years old. You can purchase a car over 10 years old, but you will need to find a buyer or repost the car for a few thousand or more than what you paid for it. Basically, in order to make the quick $2,000, you need a car worth $15,000 or more in order to create the space for the profit. Next step. Number 1. Call the buyer. Ask for the VIN number and license plate number for purposes of checking the car's history of accidents and to make sure it's not stolen. Number 2. Type the information into the CarMax website or other car buyer's website to see what they are paying. Example, 2018 Nissan Sentra SV, 25,000 miles, price $18,995. I type in the information at CarMax. They show a price of $18,600. Number 3. I call back the buyer and offer $15,000 cash. I like the car, but I can only pay $15,000. The driver won't go under $16,000. It's okay. Buy it. Number 4. You buy it and drive it straight to CarMax or call Carvana, AutoNation, etc. But you go to the company that quotes you your biggest profit. It's a quick $2,600. On some occasions, you may have to register the car. This could slow you down a few days, which is why you should be doing more than one. Next step. Sell the car to CarMax, AutoNation, Carvana, etc. There are more places that buy cars. Google it. Number 2, find out what is required. Number 3, they do buy salvage cars for cheap, but I do not recommend you purchase cars with salvage titles, not for the quick $2,000 sale. Number 4, you must compare offers. A CarMax in San Francisco will pay more for a car than the CarMax in Folsom. Vegas could pay more than San Francisco or Los Angeles. The point is, look around and compare offers. Every dollar counts. That's it. Easy money. Once you master this game, you'll start making an average of $30,000 a month or more. And the beauty of it all? It's basically work from your phone. You're just moving the pieces around. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. I've provided the information. Now it's time for you to act on it. Make it happen for you the same way that I made it happen for myself. I'd like to request that you go to Amazon.com and leave a review. As a self-publishing author, good reviews are the lifeline of an author. Therefore, if this book helped you, go to Amazon Books and search Gennaro Patterson. I have several more books on business. Number 1, make $100,000 a month in the trucking business. Number 2, ATM money-making machines. Number 3, YouTube, mastering your business channel. Number 4, become a bestseller with the book marketing secrets. Number 5, create businesses that never require your presence. Number 6, build $100,000 in business credit. Number 7, the mirror, the hidden secrets to confidence, success, and power. Number 8, love the new lust. Number 9, no problems, only solutions. Number 10, make your tomorrows better than your yesterdays. Number 11, multiple income, the turnpike to success. Visit me at gennaro.enterprise.com. About the author. As I continue my journey, more doors open. Many have closed. Some I slammed, telling myself I would never walk through it again. I have a new vision. One that used to be a thought is materializing every day in front of my eyes. The dream, the plan, the vision is becoming tangible. I can taste it. I can feel it. I can read it. Remember, one wrong turn can destroy you. But as long as you are breathing, you, like me, can have a better tomorrow. I stay positive and make my tomorrows better than my yesterdays. It's become a lifestyle. It's become habitual. This means I've become comfortable making my tomorrows better, which gives me a good day every day. I live by the books I write, which have proven to better my situation. I went from being alone to being thought about, cared for, and loved. I went from being broke to being able to comfortably invest in new investments. I finally received my degrees in social behavioral science, sociology, and business, including my business certificate. Things are getting better for me. If I can do it, you can do it too.